Right now, the U.S. House of Representatives passes the debt ceiling bill, sending it to the Senate. This as time runs short to avoid a default. We'll have reaction from both sides of the aisle.
Plus, as the month of May comes to a close, a look at how successful the city's Low-Mo May efforts were.
And after being arrested in connection to the shooting death of Anissa Scott, one of the three suspects pleads guilty in court. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Congress is racing against a Monday deadline to avoid a debt default that could have a large impact on the economy. Tonight, the House passing that bipartisan compromise bill that allows the federal government to spend more money and pay its bills.
But the measure has faced strong resistance from some on both sides of the aisle. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
The bill is passed.
The House passed a contentious bipartisan package late Wednesday night that would raise the federal debt ceiling and impose budget cuts.
Tonight, we all made history, because this is the biggest cut and savings this Congress has ever voted for.
The legislation aims to avoid a looming default on America's debts that many feared could torpedo the global economy. But some conservative House Republicans and progressive Democrats lashed out against the compromise President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy reached last week.
The fact is, at best, we have a 2-year spending freeze that's full of loopholes and gimmicks that would allow for increased funding for the federal bureaucracy.
Every concession in this bill, every demand that Republicans made in this bill hurts somebody and hurts the most vulnerable in our country.
The 99-page bill would restrict spending for the next 2 years and raise the debt ceiling until at least early 2025. The agreement caps some federal spending, claws back money from the IRS, tightens eligibility for food stamp programs, and loosens some environmental rules.
The consequences of slipping past the deadline would reverberate across the world.
Senate leaders hope to move quickly on the bill, despite a group of mostly Republican opponents. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Next Monday is when the Treasury has said the U.S. would run short of money to pay its debts, risking an economically dangerous default.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will run for president again. That's according to 3 sources familiar with his plans. They say Christie will make the announcement next Tuesday at a town hall in New Hampshire. Christie first tried to get the Republican nomination back in 2016. He has been an outspoken critic of former president and fellow candidate Donald Trump. Meanwhile, former Vice President Mike Pence set to launch his 2024 presidential campaign next week as well. 2 sources familiar with the plan say he'll do so June 7th. That's next Wednesday. They say the announcement will include a video and a speech in Iowa. CNN is set to hold a town hall with Pence that same evening in Des Moines.
Hot temperatures continue the rest of this week. Julian Seawright is out on the weather patio with our first warned forecast.
That's right, and it's even going to be another very mild night for us here in southern Wisconsin. It's 75 degrees for us here in Madison. The good news is our friends to the west, who were dealing with 80-degree temperatures just about 30 minutes ago, have started to slide into those 70s. Around Dane County, it's even cooler for areas like Middleton and for Cross Plains, who are into those upper 60s, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures slide to the middle 60s by the time we get into tomorrow morning. But outside of that, this is what we're seeing for today. We had a 91 degrees, almost 20-degree difference from what we are supposed to be around this time of year, which is 74 degrees. Just goes to show you just how much we've been dealing with such hot and very warm conditions throughout all of southern Wisconsin. And because of it, we've been having high levels of ozone throughout much of Wisconsin in itself, which is going to continue until about 11 p.m. this evening. Now, we do have a beautiful sunset and moonrise, but temperatures themselves will continue to cool just a bit into those middle 60s, as I mentioned earlier, by the time we get into our daybreak. Overall, though, tomorrow is going to be another very warm and hot one across southern Wisconsin, with a bit more widespread and scattered showers and thunderstorms by the time we get into our afternoon. We'll be timing out how much and who will be impacted in a few moments. Until then, over to you.
With June starting tomorrow, Madison's first year trying Low-Mo May comes to an end.
But how much does the initiative help our pollinators? Armand Rahman found that out by talking to a local expert. Armand?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, Madison's campaign was actually less extreme than other Wisconsin cities that adopted No-Mo May, but the idea was the same. Keep your grass taller to increase food sources for pollinators coming out of hibernation. There was no penalty if you didn't take part, and a plant pathologist that I spoke to says it would be more effective if people did it year-round. June begins Thursday. But some homeowners cut Low-Mo May off a day early.
Well, I know it's about 8 hours early. Frankly, my grass was getting so damn high, I really felt I couldn't wait any longer.
This was the first year the city of Madison adopted the campaign, encouraging people to mow only once or twice to boost the local pollinator population. But how much does it actually work?
Well, the scientific literature in support of no mow is actually pretty thin.
Expertise about grass is Paul Koch's home turf.
This is white clover here. You can see these blooming flowers, these white flowers.
He says you're not doing enough for the environment by just not doing a chore for a month. You should plant plants that flower all year and can take multiple mowings.
Various clovers that flower at low heights of cut. Other plants, different herbs that can flower at low heights of cut.
Letting your grass grow for a month, then immediately cutting it is also not healthy for the lawn.
It's a stress for the turf. If you're really mowing those plants off on June 1st to a significantly lower height of cut, you're removing a lot of their ability to make their own food.
Or for the lawn mower.
It's a significant maintenance issue. You're going to use a lot of gasoline to push that mower blade through the tall leaf blades.
Still, Koch says the idea is pretty green, but you should keep your lawn at 3 to 3.5 inches all year round.
Higher heights of cut will provide deeper root systems, which makes those plants more drought resistant.
You get a lot of butterflies and other bees and other pollinators around when you have tall grass.
Now, Madison also adopted the initiative as part of their official commitment as a bee city.
Armand, thank you. One of the 3 men charged with the death of 11-year-old Anissa Scott pleading guilty in court today. Jerry Ward was arrested along with Perion Carrion and Andre Brown following that 2020 shooting on East Washington Avenue. Police say a man who was driving the vehicle that Scott was in was the intended target. Scott was shot instead and later died. Ward pleaded guilty to first-degree reckless homicide as party to a crime. 2 other charges were dismissed. Meanwhile, it was an emotional day in court for Anissa Scott's family. Her mother, Ashley Rios, has been at most of the court dates for the 3 men charged in her daughter's killing.
I guess as far as the court case goes, yes, I do feel a little bit of closure. Obviously more when sentencing is over. But, I mean, it'll never be closed for me.
The sentencing date hasn't been set yet, but the judge said it'll likely be within the next few months. Anissa's family has pushed for stronger gun laws in the past, something Ashley says she hopes will help stop more families from having to go through something like this.
A man accused of shooting and wounding another man on Madison's East Side last year will spend 5 years in prison. Cameron Barber Smith was arrested last year after police say he went to a house in the 4300 block of Nakusa Trail and shot a 21-year-old man who was standing on a balcony multiple times. Barber Smith pled guilty to 2 charges of first-degree recklessly endangering safety as a party to a crime. The 5-year prison sentence will be followed by 5 years of extended supervision. A Madison police officer who tried to arrest a homicide suspect at a Quick Trip earlier this year will not be held criminally liable for the suspect's death. On February 24th, dozens of officers responded to the Quick Trip after someone reported that Justin Kopmeyer had entered the store. Kopmeyer was wanted in a domestic-related homicide. The 39-year-old had just left the store before heading back inside when he saw the police, this time with a gun in his hand. Kopmeyer went to a restroom. An officer fired a single shot at him. Kopmeyer then barricaded himself inside the restroom, where police say they heard 2 gunshots before finding Kopmeyer dead. That 70s show actor Danny Masterson has been found guilty of rape. A Los Angeles jury found the actor guilty on 2 of 3 counts of rape in a retrial today. This is Masterson's 2nd rape trial. The first ended in a deadlock and a mistrial. The actor was charged with forcibly raping 3 women at his home between 2001 and 2003. Masterson denied all allegations. He's facing a possible sentence of up to 30 years to life in a state prison.
Meanwhile, the workers' strike at True Stage, formerly Cuna Mutual, continued with a car caravan today. The workers say they've been out without a contract now for more than 400 days. Along with the strike, the workers have also filed several unfair labor practice charges against the company.
I am hopeful that we will see a resolution. I hope that it's sooner rather than later, but kind of depends on the company at this point. We're not the ones that are stalling and dragging our feet. That's on the company.
And this is the first time in the history of the company and the union that there has been a strike.
Tomorrow marks the beginning of Pride Month, celebrating LGBTQ people. Governor Tony Evers will raise the Pride flag over the East Wing of the Capitol to mark this occasion. This is a broad push on the issue on trans athletes participating in women's sports. Continues across the U.S. So far, we haven't seen anything like that in Wisconsin this session, which started in January. That is something that Congressman Mark Pocan gives the state legislature credit for, as he's seen analogies drawn from other states.
Folks within the conservative movement throwing spaghetti on the wall, what can we use to scare people, because that's how they always do best. And the one that kind of stuck for them was, oh, trans. Most people don't know someone who's trans. Therefore, they're still a little bit afraid. Let's put those issues out there.
Pocan equated some of what he's seeing federally to rhetoric toward gay people a few decades ago. Earlier this year, we have seen some action on LGBTQ issues, with the state legislature blocking an Evers administration rule that would ban conversion therapy in Wisconsin. However, local bans still exist. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, Julian's back with the complete forecast. Plus, there's a new drop-in center aimed at helping vulnerable youth.
Also, investigating UFOs, the historic public meeting to discuss the mysteries in our skies. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
So many hotels.
Trouble booking the family vacay? Come on. Comfort does free hot breakfast for the whole fam. They have waffles. And splendid pools.
Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards and upgrade your home's appliances. We have the largest in-stock appliance selection ready to take home today. Save over $350 on this fingerprint-resistant stainless steel dishwasher after sale price and rebate. Keep your home clean and spotless with Live-In. We've got brooms, mops, and everything in between. Get this mop today for just $9.99 after 11% rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Is there a doctor in the house? Please welcome Chandra Wilson. We get into all things grades. You can't, block a blessing. Come join the fun of the Jennifer Hudson Show.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Urban Triage holding a ribbon-cutting event today commemorating the grand opening of its Youth Drop-In Center located at 306 East Wilson Street in Madison. The center is part of the organization's Unhoused Youth Initiative and in partnership with the Youth Action Board. The center will offer support for youth ages 17.5 to 24. The goal is to provide community resources and services to vulnerable youth experiencing homelessness, imminent homelessness, or housing insecurity.
We want to create a space for youth where they can come without judgment, without stigma, and get the services and support that they need, including mental wellness.
The initiative is the first of its kind in Dane County.
This year's MG&E Peregrine Falcons are here, and they have names. Mother Falcon Trudy laid 4 eggs in April in the nesting box at the Blount Generating Station in downtown Madison. 2 of the eggs hatched in May. The new chicks are both female and are named after iconic Wisconsin foods. The names were voted on by MG&E employees. The new chicks are named Cheese Curtis and Cream Puff. A total of 55 falcon chicks have hatched at the Blount nesting box since 2009.
The Department of Defense is tracking more than 800 cases of unidentified aerial phenomenon, usually referred to as UFOs. That's what a top Pentagon official told a NASA panel studying the topic today. Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick said the DoD gets roughly 500 to 100 new reports a month, but that only about 2 to 5% of those reports are true anomalies.
We haven't found life beyond Earth yet, right? I mean, let's be clear about this. We haven't found it yet, but we're looking.
NASA gathered a team of 16 experts to study what it calls unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. That's basically anything that cannot be identified as an aircraft or a known natural occurrence. The team is expected to release a report this summer. Meanwhile, a small airplane hit a utility bucket truck off a highway off-ramp as it was apparently crash landing in Pennsylvania. It happened in York County near Interstate 76. One of the 2 people on that plane was airlifted to the hospital. The other treated on scene. The truck driver was not injured, and FAA officials are now investigating.
The FTC is alleging Ring gave employees unrestricted access to customers' home security systems. The agency claims one Ring employee viewed thousands of such videos from at least 81 female users back in 2017. That's before Amazon acquired the company in 2018. But Amazon still agreed to settle the FTC's lawsuit for $5.8 million today. The retailer also agreed to implement a new data security program. Federal regulators want to require automatic braking on all new passenger vehicles. The technology stops or slows down a moving vehicle when a hazard is detected. Many models already come with it, though they're not required to do so. Now the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the technology is mature enough to become mandatory. It estimates changing the law to require the system would save 360 lives per year.
Some possible chances for much needed showers the next couple of days. Here's Julian with a complete forecast. A few folks saw some sporadic showers tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We even had a severe thunderstorm warning, I guess, to kick off the end of May for us. So hopefully we get a little bit more rain. I guess we definitely need it after this dry spell. So getting straight into it is what we're going to be expecting from our weather headlines. We do have scattered opportunities to see some showers, even thunderstorms heading into tomorrow. Just the timing of it is mainly going to be our afternoon and early evening hours. Once we get into Thursday night, we're pretty much going to be looking at the threat for any kind of precipitation to be over and done with. Otherwise, we are going to be seeing those temperatures stay within near 90 degrees until we get into the early part of next week. So expect this weekend to be not only hot, but also humid for us here in southern Wisconsin. Now, as we take a look at what else we have in store for us, let's go ahead and walk through planning out our day. Tonight's going to be quiet, but temperatures are still going to be rather mild. The southeasterly winds are going to continue stretching into tomorrow, bringing in a bit of humidity, and on top of it, some heat. Temperatures will be into the mid-80s by the time we're into our Thursday early afternoon, around lunchtime in itself as well. So we are looking for more cloud cover. On top of it, some more widespread showers by the time we get into the 5 p.m. commute. Now, the thing is, though, it's not going to be flat out widespread like a normal system would be. Instead, it's going to be pop-up clusters of showers and potentially even some thunderstorms that could bring in heavy rain to some areas around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and even 4-7. So there's many areas that could be seeing some pop-up showers or even some thunderstorms that could be even strong for some areas, especially if we're mixing in some heat, some humidity, on top of it, some sunshine. Now, however, the thing is, it's, again, could it be on the eastern side of Dane County or even just north on the eastern side of Columbia County, but we're not going to be expecting it to be hitting everywhere all at once. Once we get into Thursday nights, threat's pretty much over, but Friday is going to be a bit more of a rinse and a repeat. Now, we can't really take this, but with a grain of salt in terms of how much precipitation we're expecting, because isolated areas could see significantly more rainfall like we did for today than other areas. But there could be spots around Dane County, near Madison, over towards Janesville, Watertown, Juneau, and even near Wisconsin Dells that could have some showers that hit certain areas, but then your neighbor next door or just across across the way, could not see anything. So it's pretty much where are you is going to be the biggest impact for any kind of rainfall or storm activity for tomorrow. Otherwise, we do have our air quality advisory in effect until 11 p.m. for tonight. And planning out tomorrow before we get into the storms, well, we are going to be seeing those temperatures again climb into the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. So make sure you're staying hydrated and also staying cool. Our 3 things we'll need to know: the 90s are going to stick around until about Saturday, but it's also going to be humid heading into this weekend. And again, we do have the opportunities, mainly going to be for Thursday and Friday, to have any kind of afternoon or evening thunderstorms. But taking a look at our first warned 7-day forecast, we are going to be seeing those temperatures this weekend, again, climb to the lower 90s and into the upper 80s. So things themselves will definitely still be on the warmer side. But heading into next week, your first warning is that we're looking to cool down just a little bit more, but still feeling quite a bit like late July.
A local 7th grade student's journey at the Scripps National Spelling Bee is now over after being eliminated today. Aiden of Blessed Sacrament School finished tied for 21st, but he wasn't eliminated because he spelled a word incorrectly. Nope, instead he was eliminated because he gave the wrong definition of the word obviate. Despite the early exit, it was still a memorable experience for him.
I was a little disappointed that I went out on a vocab word because I was hoping to learn a new word by getting out on a spelling one, but I'm still fine with it. It's a really surreal experience being able to connect with other people with talents like me.
And in case you were all wondering, obviate means to remove something or make it unnecessary.
Wisconsin football unveiled some kickoff times for their 2023 season today. Stick around to find out when you can see UW.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
We went to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machines. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburgers cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love. And our thick and creamy frozen custard.
We make it for you all throughout the day. All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's.
Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
And action! Get up to 50% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible deals, like this recliner, free when you purchase the reclining sofa, or these incredible beds, both at our lowest price ever, or this beefy recliner marked way down. How about a Lazy Boy recliner as low as $375, or $499 gets you a Sealy Posturepedic mattress. Plus, we'll throw in a 7-piece bedding bundle free, up to 50% off at the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
We are just about 3 months away from a new chapter in Wisconsin football, the Luke Fickell era. And today we found out when we can watch these highly anticipated games. Bucky's September 2nd season opener with Buffalo will kick off at 2:30 before a night game at Washington State, week 2 at 6:30 p.m. First morning game of the year will be at 11 a.m. when they host Georgia Southern. That's before their Big Ten opener at Purdue in week 4. After their bye week, the Badgers' homecoming game against Rutgers will either be at 11 a.m. or in the early afternoon. An article in The Athletic uncovered the Packers falling out with Aaron Rodgers, reporting that in 2021, Rodgers' agent called Packers president Mark Murphy with an ultimatum: fire general manager Brian Gutekunst or trade Aaron Rodgers. Of course, we know the Pack held firm, and Rodgers went on to win another MVP in 2021. The Packers, though, have turned a new page to Jordan Love, and while some aren't calling it a rebuild, All-Pro tackle David Bakhtiari is doubling down that it is.
To me, flat out how I look at it, it's disrespectful to say you're not rebuilding off a Hall of Fame quarterback. It was disrespectful to say you weren't rebuilding off of Brett Favre when you moved to Aaron. No one knew who Aaron was and what he was going to be, so I'm not going to sit here and pull back those words, because that is, when you look at how it's been built and how we were chasing after it and the cap, there's a bunch of situations that can definitely allude to it. We have a young team.
After going 18-9 in the month of April, the Brewers had a May to forget. The Crew were 10-16 this month entering tonight's game in Toronto, and after losing 4 of their last 5, they need this one to enter June on a high note. Abraham Toro got the call up from AAA and made his Brewers debut tonight, and he provides the immediate spark. A wall scraper from Toro scores a pair to put Milwaukee up 2-0 in the first. Let's get that man some cheese, please. Skip to the 7th, Brewers lead 2-1, and here's Owen Miller. The Wisconsin native ropes a 2-bagger to left, doubling the Crew's run total, and they'd hold on to get the win up north. 4-2 the final. And the Madison Mallards were back in action tonight, playing the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders at the Duck Pond. Behind a 5-run second inning and a 3-hit night from Jackson Chatterton, the Lards won 9-4, advancing to 2-1 on the young season. We found out a few days ago the Bucks would be hiring Adrian Griffin as their next head coach. New reports say that not only was Giannis heavily involved in the process, he met one-on-one with each of the candidates in person and was vehemently against any other coach other than Adrian Griffin. A few years out from free agency, they're keeping the Greek Freak happy in Milwaukee. We'll be right back.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale.
Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings.
Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Camp for less at Camping World in DeForest. We have hundreds of RVs to choose from with quality pre-owned RVs starting at $99.99 and new RVs starting at just $134 a month. Plus, every RV purchase comes with a Good Sam Elite membership and access to our nationwide service network. We guarantee you'll get the best deal or give you $1,000. Stock up on everything you need for the RV and campsite with our huge selection of RV accessories. Looking to sell your RV? We pay the most. Click, call, or come in to Camping World in DeForest today.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University Online.
1-800-211-2082.
So many hotels.
Trouble booking the family vacay? Come on. Comfort has free hot breakfast for the whole fam. They have waffles. And splendid pools. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Now get a new Ford Edge with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Want to work out for free? This summer at Anytime Fitness, you can get up to 3 months free. Get more for your membership than just machines, with 24/7 access and a community of support. Hurry! The earlier you join, the more you save. Stop into Anytime Fitness now and get the summer free.
When you download the Pick and Save app, you have easy access to savings every day and get personalized coupons sent straight to your phone. Save big today when you download the Pick and Save app. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
Finally tonight, some goats in England are putting their best foot forward with a 30-day race around the world to raise money for the Zoological Society of London. 9 pygmy goats from the London Zoo are taking on 2 golden Guernsey goats from the Whipsnade Zoo. Together, they are hoping to walk, cycle, or swim a total of 40,000 kilometers. I know, Julian, this is weird. Or nearly 25,000 miles during the month of June. That is equivalent to the circumference of the globe. Fans can donate and track progress on the Zoological Society of London's website. So if you're bored,
that stuff. Watching goats.
Follow the goats.
How do you even think to do something like that?
And execute it, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
as long as it's for a good cause and people will watch it. Yes. That is fair. Goats walking. Final check of the forecast, Julie.
Well, it's going to be a little hot if the goats were going to be here to do any of that racing. But starting off June, just like it would be in summer, except for even hotter. 88 degrees for tomorrow, but we do have opportunities for showers and thunderstorms, not only for Thursday, but for Friday as well. So make sure that you're prepared for random spot-up showers or even thunderstorms in your area. Heading into the weekend, more dry but still hot until next week, where we finally cool down into the lower 80s.
All right, Julian, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.